On my wedding day 15 years ago, my father stood on the bluff above the Pacific Ocean in Northern California in the town of Bolinas, and he made a toast to the memory of his grandmother, Jenny Friedlander, who had been killed in 1941. There was a reason my father was mentioning his ancestor, because in my father's mind, by marrying Sam Friedlander, I would become Jenny Friedlander and share the same name as my great-grandmother. My father told me she was a warm Russian woman, and she had given birth to 12 children before being shot before her time in Riga, Latvia. My father obviously didn't know me very well because I never did become Jenny Friedlander. I never wanted to take my husband's name. Never occurred to me. Never. In fact, we divorced 6 years later, but our partnership forever entangled in the care of our two daughters lives on. I met Sam Friedlander while performing stand-up comedy in clubs in New York in the early 90s. We were both working out new and old material uptown, downtown. And he was half French Moroccan and half Russian Jew, and he liked to wear a long, bright, yellow, orange raincoat. He was cute. I knew that we were destined to spend more than a few years together when he told me from his vantage point on the pillow that he could see big pores inside my ears. Big pores. Our union was made even more auspicious when we realized that we had both descended from Jewish ancestors from Riga, Latvia. Who knew? Who knew? It was a creative partnership, yet 6 years after we married, and we had 2 children, beautiful. We moved to Marin, where I had grown up, Marin County, and I actually shocked myself and my entire family by falling in love and moving in with a woman who had 2 children of her own. 4 years later, I woke up on the floor of Sam's apartment. It was Mother's Day. My girlfriend had thrown me and my kids out of her house the day before. It was ugly. My own mother was actually close to dying from Lou Gehrig's disease that very morning. She was completely paralyzed, and I was frankly just grateful to have a place to lay my head. It was the bunk bed. I was next to bunk beds, my kids' bunk beds. As I contemplated my next step, I stared at the primary colored snap-together shelves with buckets, and there were like Polly Pocket pieces, crushed velvet American Girl doll dresses, and peeling Lincoln logs. I shrugged as I piled upon plastic mass-produced shelves my sunglasses, tax returns, iPod chargers, journals, credit card bills, and various assorted small knobs and pulleys of the life that had unwoven down the road. I won't tell you about her chasing me down the street with a shower rod. I just will skip that. 1 month later, I found a house to rent nearby. It's all good, yet the pain of having broken apart from a good man who is the father of your 2 children never entirely lifts. It can't. When I go over to Sam's apartment in the morning to pick up the kids after he's left for work, I look around the kitchen. His cabinets are so much better organized than mine, and I miss some of the soup bowls he got in the divorce. and the spicy tuna pasta he used to make, and the decision that I would be eating home-cooked meals inspired by Sam's French Moroccan mother for the rest of my life. I mean, that's good food, you know, but what else could I do? I tell myself and remember, I'm not any part of the equation, man and wife. Then I wander over, when I'm at his place, I wander over to the freezer and I open it. I mean, he always has plenty of extra meat to cook up. For instance, he stocks up on contact lens solution, which I always have the inexplicable urge to steal, and in fact I did once. If that is truly my worst crime, I tell myself, I'm free. I'm living a life true to who I am. At least I can make that choice. I'm lucky. My great-grandmother was not so lucky. She never asked if she wanted to fall quietly into the ditch in the middle of the forest. She had no choice. And on a good day, when I can see through the fog of my guilt to the strength of my convictions, I honor Sam for being so generous. And maybe I say to myself, maybe he's that way because maybe, you know, just somewhere hovering over us lives the spirit of the woman I never became. Is that good?